Now, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Hey, hey, hey. It's the BYOB midnight train to your money to the wealthy place. Hey, 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 y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we do it. Go ahead, share the broadcast. I'm excited to be here with my sisters. We are going to talk about how you can replace your job, and some of y'all know y'all need to plug in real quick to this conversation, but go ahead and invite someone to the conversation tonight. We're excited to be here. Looking forward to our time together tonight. Hello, Jessica. Welcome. Thank you so much. Please share the broadcast. Again, welcome. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson. I'm going to let my sisters introduce themselves and we're going to get this conversation started. But in the meantime, I'm about to share the broadcast. Y'all, hey, y'all. That music just does something to me. I got my girls just laughing at me, but it's all good, y'all. For those of y'all who know, y'all know what that means, right? So, hey, I'm Stephanie Lane. I am co-founder of Black Women Career Council, and we do all things career, right? We're for that professional woman, that boss CEO chick, that woman that's doing her damn thing, and she wants to claim her fame. Sometimes she gets stuck in a box. We help her get out that box. She wants to name her salary. We help her do that and demand her worth. And then at the end of the day, if she doesn't like what she's doing, then we look at those skill sets and we just transfer them. Hey, Marnie. Hey, sis. We help them to get on and find a better job, one that's going to pay them what they are worth. So again, we do all things career women, and y'all be looking out. Keep your eyes open. I hope I woke you up because I know this is late, early morning, but keep your eyes.
Is that me? You got stuck.
No, it's you, CJ. Oh, Jessica said she's stuck. Uh-oh, we got somebody stuck out there in the world now. Hey, I got something for you. All you gotta do is reach down in that belly and go, and get unstuck. It's just that simple. But holla at your girl. We'll get you unstuck.
Oh my goodness, y'all! I can't. I can't. Nothing like Stephanie didn't put a. We from New Orleans. You can't be doing that too many times for you to put a root on me. Hello, everyone. This is CJ Alston, Shaquanda CJ Alston. I am so happy to be here. As you can tell, y'all, it's lit up in here. Come on in, share out the broadcast. Who knows? You may get transformed to something that you've never experienced before. Stephanie got the grit going, and tonight, you're gonna come in as one person, but you're gonna leave out with getting the tools that you need to become a coach and get you some income. So that's a good night. That's a good night. Where else could you hang out when you come in one way and don't leave the same, and actually completely broke your brain and start and challenge your mind, and you're like, you know what, maybe I can be a coach. I know this, I know that, I know a thing or two. So come on in, make sure you share out the broadcast, and let's have some fun.
Well, I guess we just gonna jump right on in, and I'm half crazy tonight, y'all. So just bear with me. It is all good, y'all. Nothing but lighthearted and fun over here on this side. But guess what, y'all? I know sometimes when we talk about, hey, jump and do this, it's like hard. It's hard to like conceive. How can I do this? When can I do this? How can I stop this? And our title says replace your job. We didn't say, hey, call it halt, stop, replace. You just gotta just walk away from that safety, that stability, and come over here and just do this. No, sis. No. Now, if you are that sis and you like, I'm just sick and tired, I done built up some savings and I can last some months, that's just you. That's your thing. Handle it. But most of us, many of us are not in that boat, right? So we have to figure out, how do we turn this thing, a side hustle, turn it in, get started. I talked about taking action, do something, but do something and start working on it. So then you got to figure out how to take that side hustle, hey D, into your main hustle. Oh, you want to do real estate? Girl, it's a fun ride. Real estate is super fun. Come on over here. We got the real estate queen, and she is the bomb. Okay. I'm around a lot of investors, but this chick is bad. When I get my next house, y'all, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put that out there. I want her to come and design, do the interior of my whole house. That's how bad she is. And that's her custom stuff. That's what she normally puts. That's her signature look. I'm like, I wonder what the VIP look is. But anyway, y'all, that's where the difficult spot for many of us is. We just can't fathom. We can't figure it out. Like, how do I go from A to Z, and how am I going to get there? How do I navigate this? How can I do both? I got kids. I got this. Guys, don't stress yourself out. Don't stress yourself out. Tiny steps towards your goal are still steps. That means you are doing something. That means you are moving in a direction. And so I'm going to drop some tidbits on, what you can do to start turning that side hustle, your idea, that dream, your vision for yourself and your family and your future into a main hustle eventually, where you work yourself out of your job, where you buy yourself out. How does that sound? How does that sound when you walk in and you say, you're not mad anymore? You just over it, and you are able to shake your boss's hand and say, thank you very much, but I will not be back. This is my 2-week notice and my 2-week vacation. How about that? How about that? T. Marie is like, deuces. So what do you do? Well, first thing is, this is the norm. This is number one. You always have to have your vision and make it plain. You have to have some idea. You have to have some formulation, something that you desire, who you want to be when you grow up, what you want to do when you grow up. What is it? What does it look like? So you need to put that on paper. I cannot stress that enough. A lot of people are like, that's cheesy. And I'm not saying type it up. I'm not. I am going totally old school with this. You get yourself a notebook out. Why? There's some power in you handwriting things. It is a physical action. It is a relatable action. When you do it on the computer, it's just something, it's a rigmarole. It's something that you normally do. You do it for work, or you do it for whatever. You're on your computer because you watch Facebook all the time, because you're on here watching us, whether it's on your phone or whatever you're texting. So that's not normal. She said, do I have to get 2 weeks notice? Yeah, I still would. Hey, you just follow the legal jargon. Just say, I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice, but also my 2-week vacation. Just turn it into a vacation. How about that? You can even call it a party, whatever you want to do. So you got to physically write it down, exactly what it looks like. And don't leave out words, y'all. This is what is important. A lot of people forget, you cannot build a house and not have windows. You cannot build a house and not have doors. You cannot have a house and not have rooms, and so on and so forth. So you got to make sure that you put exactly everything that you want, your heart's desire, the dream job, your job. I mean, when I say job, not working for someone else, I'm saying the job that you created for yourself. Who do you want to work for? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're service, right? We're serving others. Whatever you decide to do, that's why we were put on this earth, to serve one another, to help one another, some form or fashion. Put it on paper and make it plain. Make it so that your 3-year-old could look at it and read it and know exactly what it is that you want to do for the rest of your life. That's the first thing. CJ, you have something to say about that? About that vision?
You know what? Absolutely, Stephanie. You know what? First, can I just tell you all to go to www.blackwomenequalpay.com? You know, it seems like Jessica has just came in at the right time. And if you go to that website, www.blackwomenequalpay.com, you will find exactly who we were talking about, the Queen of Real Estate. There are tons of others, life coaches, business coaches, two of which are up here co-hosting with us tonight. So yes, Stephanie, everything about vision is absolutely critical, right? You know, as a money mindset coach, I'm going to say you also have to, when you write it down, you have to believe it. You have to have the mindset that it absolutely can happen. You know, that is always key, because what good is it if you have money saved or not? And say you're going to put your 2 weeks in and 2 weeks and 2 vacations or not, if you don't have the mindset to say, I'm going to be my own boss. I was talking to a client today, having a consult, and she retired, or her job retired her. Either way, she's not working anymore. And she said, you know, this is harder than I thought. I have nobody to answer to. I can roll over and sleep a few more hours. I can watch television. I can catch up on my Netflix shows. And, you know, she's like, how are you able to do this? I said, you have to have the mindset for this. I don't know the last time I watched the show. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm so super swamped. You know, you have to, just like you gave time to that job for that many years, you just have to have a mindset shift and say, I'm going to do the same thing for myself. Now, it does take Jedi, like Coach said, like Coach Danielle says, Jedi mind tricks. It does. Because it's so easy. We normally don't do for ourselves. We normally don't give to ourselves. We normally don't serve ourselves as women. But now this is your time. We've done it for everybody else. And now this is your time. So, guys, www.blackwomenequalpay.com is the first step to making this happen. It's not far. It's not a far reach. When you write that down, like Stephanie mentioned, you give life to it. You bring it, you literally give it life. I agree. The computer does nothing for writing it down. Nothing. So you give life to it. So as you give life to it, don't be surprised when you luck up and find us in the middle of the night jamming and talking about your next step. So because you've given life to this. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. That was so good though, Stephanie. Definitely vision, definitely writing it down.
Yeah. T. Marie, you want me to move on to number 2, sis? All right, number two. Here we go. Number 2. Guys, you cannot treat this side hustle like a plaything, like a boo thing, like a bae thing, not like a side piece, not like a chicken wing, not like, this has to be treated like a real business. How you operate at your job is how you need to operate in your own business. This is not a hobby, y'all. If you're trying to make money, it's not a hobby. I'm not doing this for fun. I got to put the same amount of energy into my business, into who I want to be, in order for me to be successful. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be easy all the time, because it is not going to be easy. And anything obtained easily is not usually long lasting. Everybody knows that. Usually, if you got to work hard for something and you put your blood, sweat, and tears on it, your baby you nursed that thing, you put that diaper on that thing, you cleaned it up when it was dirty. You got that thing together. You know at the end of the day, that is yours. You are proud of it, and it's operating the way you need it to in order to create a legacy for you and your family. So many people jump out here. I mean, let's be honest. Some people jump out here and they think they know what they want to do. They get into it, and then when the going gets tough, they jump out. The grease got too hot. But there's something that you can do about that too. There are a lot of things you can do to combat that. And we'll jump into that a little later. But you've got to treat this as if this is your 9 to 5. Because it will become, remember, if we're moving from side hustle to main hustle, it will be. So the same work ethic that you have, if you have work ethic, let me tell y'all, coming from a managerial perspective, if you know you're not that one that's disciplined, don't try to move over here in these streets. Because however disciplined you are, that's exactly what you're going to do in your business. So if you don't like waking up early, if you don't like staying up late, I don't like waking up early, but I'm late. Hey, you see where we are right now. And we talk business. That's what we're doing. We're on here talking business. And guess what? When we get off here, we talk business. So there are some things, some hours you got to put in there. And yes, you're thinking again, how am I going to make this happen? You are going to have some sleepless nights. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. You're just going to suck it up. But guess what keeps you going? That vision that you wrote down. Because all you got to do is go back to that notebook and you read, where am I going? How am I going to get there? What does it look like? And that'll boost that energy. I'm going to tell you that energy is going to come up. You're going to be like, oh, yes, I'm going to go get this. This is what I said I want. It's mine. I declare it. I'm going to go get it. And who's going to stop me, by the way? Who? CJ?
Well, you know that there you go, talking my language. That's that relentless talk there. Who gonna? Yeah, I go. I'm gonna say something else from my hometown. Like the late Messi Maya used to say. Now who gonna pop me? You know who gonna do it? Nobody ain't gonna pop me, because the thing is, this is my thing. So just like you have to be, you relentless about whatever it is, whatever that one thing is, that's how you have to be relentless about this. The thing is, as an accountant and a money girl, listen, you can't even write off hobby expenses, but you can write off being a new business owner. You can write off those expenses, but you can't write off being a hobby. So you might as well do the right thing. You might as well treat it just like you treated your job. Hi, Miss Joy, how you doing? And thank you for sharing. So yeah, that's the real about this thing. And you know what else keeps you going? Like Coach always teaches, to know what your why is. Well, we're not just talking about a very minute why. Why, oh, I want to do this so I could sleep later. Oh, I want to do this so I can save a few bucks or something. No. It has to be one of those whys that you're like, you know what? I'm going to hold on to, I'm going to grab onto it, be relentless, like the pit bulls lock up and lockjaw on somebody. And that's how relentless I'm going to be about this thing, about my millions, about my goal, about my multi-millions. That is the mindset that you need. And Stephanie is right. If you're not ready, that's fine. We all have been there. You absolutely have to be in the headspace to do this, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Because we've seen those who say, okay, well, you know what? They fell off for whatever reason. or life happens for her. But even when life happens, you can't give up on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, baby needs shoes, children hungry, whatever that why is. I know for me, my why is my 3 babies. Listen, and they eat every day. Like they eat more and more every day. So I have to feed them. That's my why. If mama don't do it, we under the bridge. So guess what? That's my why. You have to hold on to that why like it is everything. That why is your breath. That's why I say we're relentless about this thing. That's why Stephanie said we're up all night, in the early morning. It's a lot of work, but it's a different kind of work. Because guess who signs the checks? And guess who receives the checks? You do. So it's just like, oh, I get to see the fruits of my labor. And yes, you sometimes you have to pass out and get some rest, but at the end of the day, it's like this is my thing. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. And so when you see that, it gives you again, a gratifying feeling to say, I can do this. Good job. I really can do this. And this is something I don't have to buy inventory. Being a coach, you don't need an inventory. You don't need no startup costs. You literally just take what's in here, your life lessons, your life experiences, and you take here and you write it down, and you have a why, and you have that fire, whatever that is, to make you just say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I tell you, I hate to keep. I mean, we are almost at the end of 2020. I mean, 2020 is something we'll talk about for the rest of time.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the rest of time. So at the end of this year, 2020 have shifted a lot of us in so many ways. What is 2020 going to say to you at the end of the year? Are you really going to end 2020 like you began? Wow. That's all I say about that. T.
Ooh. Listen, thank you so much for being here with us. If you haven't shared the broadcast, I don't know what you're waiting for. And you want to go to www.blackwomenequalpay.com, blackwomenequalpay.com. You want to go to that website. There are more than 12 areas in which you can specialize in and get your certification. You don't want to miss this opportunity. We talked about it. We started talking about the first round, I believe is the end of May, definitely June. Had our first class. They graduated at the end of August. So I know you're not going to let the second class, which, by the way, started last Saturday. I know you're not going to let the second class go ahead and pass you by again. What happened in your life in 2003? You probably don't remember unless it was something traumatic or some big significant thing. But you will always remember 2020. When life changed. Well, in the midst of your life change, why don't you do something to enhance, enrich, and further your life by coming and getting your certification? If you don't know how to take that hobby and scale it, then you're at the right place. We can show you how to do that. If you don't even know that you could get paid for something that you're doing, then you want to come on, we'll help you build your online business. Because guess what? You might have a service that does require you to have contact with people, but you better be thinking outside of that box. Because if not, what would you do if the world shuts down again? Wait on a check. Some folks are still waiting on that second stimulus. Lord have mercy. And whether you get it or not, why are you waiting? You could have made $1,200 $2,400 a couple times over in the time that you were sitting waiting for somebody to give you a hand out. No, we're giving you a hand up to help yourself, to enrich your life, and to leave a legacy for your children. But you got to be willing to do the work. I appreciate the pandemic because guess what? I have been talking about leaving my job, but now I know what that really looks like. And I didn't know that, like for real, I know it was something I could do, but I got some hands-on experience in the midst of this pandemic. And now more than ever, I don't want to be forced to go to a place that I don't want to go to necessarily. And if that's you, come on and be a part of this community. It is $1,000. So while you waiting on the stimulus, just pretend it ain't coming. When it comes, just come on over and pay for this course.
They don't have to pretend to. It's not
okay.
coming.
Well,
it's not
all right.
It's not, take it from the account.
Well, all right.
Sleep and breathe. It's not coming this year. We missed that point. The Heroes Act is not passed, so it's not coming.
Okay, well, so then, hey, here we go. You have less than 100 days. Come on, take control of your own life. Take control of your own destiny. Take control over your future. You deserve it. Your children deserve it. Your family deserves it. But you deserve it. www.blackwomenequalpay.com. Go sign up, apply, schedule your interview, and I'll see you at graduation.
And show up for your interview.
Well, yeah.
Just saying, right? Okay, so now we're ready for numero 3. Here we go. Numero 6. Guys, there are some things that you're going to have to say no to in order to say yes to you. So that means all that partying, spending all that money frivolously, buying the latest Coach purse, Louis Vuitton knockoffs, whatever. You're going to have to put those things aside in order to build for you. People want to come and have, well, you shouldn't be in quarantine times, but everybody seems to be getting together because I'm seeing them everywhere. Going over for birthday parties and baby showers and weddings, and some of those things you're going to have to say no in order to put the time in for your side hustle. Again, we're talking about replacing your job. And statistics show, y'all, listen to this. Statistics show that many serious entrepreneurs put in at least 20 hours in on their side hustle, as well as the normal 40-hour week for their 9 to 5. So if you think about that, where are you going to put those hours in? And most of us do more than 40 hours in a 9 to 5. We just like to say it's 40 hours, but generally we do more than that. And then 20 on top of that. So when will you have time to do anything but focus on building your dream? That includes you getting off the internet. That includes you stop watching Netflix. And I'm not saying just turn everything, because I believe you got to turn your brain off, because I call it trash TV. And I love trash TV, y'all, because it just takes my mind off of stuff. And I can go laugh at somebody else instead of cry at myself sometimes. I can go just hee-haw it up. I've been into these love series. Oh, I've been watching on Netflix. They have all of these dream homes and all this stuff. Oh, y'all, if you want to dream big, that's what you go do. You go watch stuff that you want. You can go pick out, oh, I want this in my house. So remember, we talked about building your house earlier. You can literally go look at things and find that for you. That's only during your brain break. Because other times you should be working on that side hustle. You should be thinking, eating, sleeping, your side hustle to free yourself. Again, if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. It's not going to fall out the sky into your lap. It's not going to fall out the sky and hit you in the head. You're not going to trip over a rock and fall down and then be able to claim something and voila, you come into riches. And if you are banking on winning the lottery, let me tell you about the lottery. Here is the 411 on the lottery. It is proven that the majority of folk who win the lottery have not created a mindset for that kind of money. Thus, when they get the money, they end up broke again. Just FYI, if you didn't know, look it up. I tell no lies. Google it. And it will tell you. It will show you. It will take you to the folk. See it time and time again. I'm going to tell you, that's one thing that does irritate me that's out there on TV. There's the millionaire homes, or they made a whole show out of it, taking folk who had won the lottery, and now they're going to go find a dream home, spending that money. I'm like, That's they operating in that broke mindset. Now, I'm not saying they can't have good things and make things well for them, but they just won the daggum money. The money hadn't even really landed in their account fully. And they on somebody's show going to find a home that if anything, if all hell broke loose, they would not be able to afford. That's not smart investment. So those are the kinds of things we need to know. Those are the kinds of things, the conversations we need to have. Those are the kinds of mind shifts that need to occur. But you need to be around folk who know that can guide you, that can help you and be wisdom and wise counsel to you. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I didn't have this group, this community of women, I would be that one on the show buying that $1 million house with my $1 million that I just earned. Now, how smart is that? All because in my mind, I'm like, I want $1 million. I can buy $1 million house. I like what I like, right? And I'm going to get it. Wrong mindset. And people don't care. I hate to put it out there to you guys. I don't care how genuine some folk are to you. They don't care. They're feeding their own need and want. And if you don't have the gift of discernment, find somebody that does. And that's where that wisdom comes. Because it's dog eat dog for real. Think of that show. It makes me sick. It really makes me nauseous because I'm like, these people should not be investing in a house right now. They should be putting that money up, making some smarter investments, allowing that money to grow. Because there's a difference between rich and wealthy. Huge difference. And you want to grow that rich into wealthy. That means I don't ever have to worry. I don't ever have to be concerned. All hell can break loose over here on this side and my money won't disappear because my money will continue to generate. That's that kind of investment I'm talking about. I'm talking about that if I were gone, if I was taken off the planet, my kids would be taken care of. My kids' kids would be taken care of. My kids' kids' kids would be taken care of. That's when you stop. That's when you start making those investments and doing things like that, buying what you want, what you like, getting that car that you want, but being smart about it. Again, we're talking about mindset shifts when you get into this thing. And I'm going to tell you, the rich don't go buy brand new cars all the time. They do not. There's a book out there. Saving Tips as a Young Adult. Yeah. What's that book? Millionaire Next Door. That's it. The Millionaire Next Door. You will never know. Most millionaires, you'll never know that they're millionaires. Why? Because they don't want to bring attention to themselves. So they dress really normally. They drive really normal cars. Only those want to showcase, pop it, and flaunt it. What is it called? Chasing clout now. What you see on TV, y'all, that's not real. That's not the real world. You know, those are celebrities. They have to live it up. And half of them are broke, to be honest. Their monies are not liquid. They don't have access to them like that. They have to go do things and move things and wait to get paid in order to spend. And most of the stuff they flaunting is from endorsement. Somebody gave it to them to showcase for them, and half the time it's borrowed. It's not even theirs to keep. But we got it in our head. That's what we want. That's what we like. We going after that kind of life. That'll get you in some trouble. That's not what smart folk do who have money, who are building wealth. CJ, money lady.
Well, I have a question. There was a question about saving tips as a young adult. Man, that was a very good question. I wish people would ask that more. I know I would tell you, get a pen, my friend. Yes. The Millionaire Next Door is awesome. First thing I would say as a saving tip is to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first if it's nothing but 10%. You see 10%, whether you pay a tithe or give a charity, whatever you call it, a 10%, and you take that 10% and you save. Pay yourself first. Then I'm quickly to spend things, but doing Corona money is kind of tough. Exactly. So be wise about that. And especially if you're, I don't know if you're an entrepreneur or not, even it doesn't matter. Corona has shifted everybody's mindset. So what you do is you get yourself a budget. You get yourself a budget and you stick to it. And as a young adult, I don't know about you, but when I was a young adult, I partied. I was clubbing. Clubs don't owe me nothing. I used to close them all down. But I mean, it's still, you can still be disciplined with doing that. May not go to the club every day or every weekend, every other weekend. You know, those are the ways. Well, right now, clubs after coronavirus is my opinion. And so you can do that. So set yourself up a budget. Look at what is coming in. And yes, if money is tight, then you're going to have to take what's in your hand, what's in your head, and find a side hustle, or what we're talking about tonight. Does not matter what it is. All three of us, we're successful, and we all have different businesses. We have our own coaching businesses and other businesses. And let me make it really clear for you all what Stephanie was saying. I don't feel like you have one launch, right? Or you have this one business, or you have this $1 million. Oh, you're welcome, baby. There's a $1 million that, like Stephanie said, oh, you go buy a $1 million home. Or you have this one launch and this is 6 or 7 figure launch, and you're like, okay, I've arrived. I'm gonna kick my feet back and I'm gonna spend that money. Is not a lot of money. It's not a launch like that. 6 figures is really not a lot of money. I know in 2020 it's not a lot of money. It's not. And so when I tell you that you still have to be relentless, still have to think 2 and 3 and 4 steps ahead, still have to play chess, still have to say what's the next move. I'm gonna give you the best person that we can model with that is Beyonce. Baby, Beyonce is a billionaire. Billion. Beyonce just put out Black is King. Beyonce about to have drip number 2. Her Ivy Park line is last week. She did all this during the pandemic. I mean the quarantine. So, and I'm sure some music and something else is down the line. So I'm like, bruh, she don't ever sleep, y'all. And so you would think she Beyonce. She really don't need to come out with nothing else. She don't need to do anything else. She don't need to come out with anything else. She's a billionaire. So if you don't believe anything we say, by the way, www.blackwomenequalpay.com, then go just look at Queen B. She does not stop. She is launching something at all times. She get off one tour and go on another tour. Listen, that is relentless. That is what, like Stephanie mentioned, children's. She already have enough for about 10 generations deep. She working on 20 generations deep. Everybody gonna be happy. Everybody. So the thing is, what is driving her, right? What's her driving force? She doesn't need it, but it's just the fact that when you have it in you and when you're an entrepreneur, the key is when you have when you jump over and be a full-time entrepreneur, you see money in everything. You see money in everything. While some was crying about Corona, a lot of entrepreneurs saw money in Corona. They didn't make Corona songs. They didn't make Corona t-shirts. They didn't make Corona candy, Corona smoking, Corona hookah, Corona bags. Corona. I mean, so do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I was saying about the mindset. And okay, so as a young Black male myself, I look up to the greats such as Steve Jobs to guide me and myself. That's awesome. And now as a young Black male, I would encourage you to look at some other Black men greats as well that have done great things, just as Steve Jobs. There are a ton of us, past, present, and future. I would encourage that. There are a lot of African American men that can clearly, you're like, you know what, even before Reconstruction, when Black people was slaves, and we alluded to the fact about Black Wall Street, how there were Black men in the times where they were dishing out tissue paper, and they were business owners and they were making good money. We talk about the first Black billionaire. There's whether in entertainment or not, regular businessmen. So I just would encourage you as a Black male to look into that. Not saying you don't, but just to look into that, and also look into your life as you go into success. You want to make sure that you're that person, just like Steve Jobs, to where people will look at your life and look at how you modeled your success and talk about you for years to come. So, great. I'm excited. I'm excited that you're awesome.
Can I say something? I want to give something to that one young man. Here's a nugget, y'all. I get paid to tell folk this, but I'm gonna give you a freebie, okay? Make sure you write this down, your journey. Why? It's important because you're creating a blueprint for success. So to be your own system. I just gave you some money right there. You're going to create your own system. So you need to write it down. If you haven't read that somewhere, and you might not read it somewhere, or it might be deep in a book and you might have missed it somehow. But you need to write your journey down. And I'm not saying like go and sit there and write a dissertation, but even just bullet points. But with the steps you took, how did you do it? What did you do? And I don't care if you're modeling someone else, because even though you are modeling someone else, there might be something that you add to it that's going to be different, that's going to make it unique, and it's going to make it spin. It's going to put your own spin. It's going to twist it. It's going to make something go faster, be faster, whatever. Okay. But make sure you might write that down. It's going to be your blueprint, and that's your money.
That's good, Stephanie. Girl, I need to write that down myself. And that baby came on and got the free for the low.
Free 99.
That's why, guys, that's why it's good to ask questions. It's good to ask questions. That's why we are here. Make yourself known. Closed mouths don't get fed. How bad do you want it? You know, you can we can keep going. You can whatever favorite one you use. You know, if it was something else that really didn't have no merit, nobody we don't have a time to talk about it. Nobody will have a problem with talking about it, but we're talking about changing lives, changing bank accounts, changing legacy, changing family status. I don't know about these women may grew up and it was related to what's her name, Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer wasn't in my bloodline. Not Fannie Lou Hamer. Oh my God, it's late. The lady, God, forgive me, the first black woman with the hair comb.
Oh,
The first black millionaire.
CJ Walker.
CJ Walker, girl. Fannie Lou Hamer was, Lord Jesus. Okay. Yes. I'm in the arts. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I don't. She's not a down. She wasn't related to me. That's not my story. That's not my testimony. But yes, I'm gonna have to write this blueprint down because now my children's grandchildren can say, "Baby, that Shaquanda, boy, mother Shaquanda, she left us right." She left us right, and I'm gonna be sitting in the stalls of the ancestors, like, yes, you gonna be right, but everybody, my system in place, you're gonna have to do right.
mm-hmm.
All this hard work I've done, you're gonna have to do right. Don't play no games. I'm not gonna play about my money when I'm not around. If
Right.
you want it is, you're gonna have to do right. So yes, that's good. I'm glad you. Thank you for that, Stephanie. Definitely blueprint and create a system. Mm-hmm.
T, you want me to keep going? We got time for one more before we shut this thing down. Okay, I'm gonna give a twofer just because I can't help. Because I like y'all. Only because I like y'all. How about that? So we talked about sometimes you're gonna have to put things aside. We talked about how much time you're gonna have to put into it. So the next two things I'm gonna combine. First thing is don't rush your business. Don't rush it. Don't think you're gonna be an overnight success. Now there are some exclusions. There are people that have been an overnight success. Even what's the Crayola chick that became a millionaire in one night in 24 hours or whatever when she did her makeup?
Don't play with me. That's Super Scent. No, I'm just playing.
Whoever.
What? Super Scent.
Okay, Super Scent. But what they don't tell you is all the work she did prior to that night. Y'all don't y'all hear me? Okay, there may be they might say, oh, this person was an overnight success, but in reality, it took them blood, sweat, and tears, like we talked about earlier, to get to that point to where once they launched, boom, it took off, right? I'm not saying that can't happen to you or for you, but yes, it can happen, but you need to take the time. Again, if it doesn't happen within the first year, be okay. If it doesn't happen within the second year, be okay. Statistics show on average, it takes about 18 to 19 months for your job, your side hustle to turn into your main hustle. That's your for real, where you can walk away. Which leads me to number 2. You got to come up with a financial plan. And I'm going to let CJ run with that. You have to come up with a financial plan for stability. Because now you're moving out of a normal every 2 weeks, you're so used to getting paid, now into whatever you do gets you paid. So if you don't, guess what? You won't. CJ, don't laugh at me.
This is so true. You can't be no real than that. Yes, if you don't, it's so funny. And Super Scent always tell the real about her success. Yes, she may have made that $1 million in 90 minutes or so, but she'll tell you she did the makeup videos, she traveled doing pop-ups, she started housekeeping, then she was waiting tables. She will tell you her story. No, it does not happen overnight. It does not. But she does say you have to have that stick-to-itiveness. You have to be okay with being rejected. I was just talking about Beyonce. Beyonce said she was rejected 40-something times before she won one thing. before somebody said yes. Michael Jordan was rejected before he was Michael Jordan. So that's a part of it. I feel like, that's a part of it. Like there's a book, isn't it John Maxwell, The Failing Forward, Fail Forward? Failure is never, it's never a bad thing. Rejection is never a bad thing when you're an entrepreneur. At least you tried. You're like, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Maybe we need to change our model, twerk some things, do some things different. And that's it. And then watch it pop. I tell people all the time, they're like, well, what if it doesn't work? And I'm like, but what if it does? What if it does? And I always say in regards to your financials, you have to give yourself, Stephanie said 18 to 19 months, but I'll be even more conservative. Give yourself 3 to 5 years. Give yourself 3 to 5 years before you see a profit on paper, which you can, not to say you can't get an income, but a profit on paper on what you were looking for. Give yourself that time. Some people are like, oh my God, it's not working. Girl, you just got into business a year ago. You have to. Yes, most people just doesn't happen. And so then it says a lot, because if you are willing to stop and give up that quick, one no after a year, then were you really serious about it? It says a lot. That's why I always go back to your money and your mindset and what's your relationship with your money. So Stephanie said she wants me to give you guys a financial plan. Your financial plan is really, it kind of sums up to all of our points. You absolutely have to have a budget, what I was sharing with the young man. You absolutely have to cut things out. And the same things you spent on your personal things is now that goes for your business. The good thing about it is that most of those things are tax deductible. So now you don't have a salary. So now you have to realize, I'm not paying no taxes. That don't mean they don't go away. And as a small business, as a self-employed individual, we normally pay more in taxes. So you have every more reason than to say, I need to hire the help that I need, hire an accountant, hire a financial planner, hire somebody to help you with your team. Please, 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 oh please, do not try to figure this out on your own. You can. But why? Because it's going to cost you. Like the old folks used to say, you got to pay to learn. Pay to learn. So I don't want you to have to pay to learn. I'm telling you beforehand, go to the website, get into this community, hire the help that you need. It's all tax deductible. Even this certification, $14 a day. What is that? That's nothing for brand new life. That's nothing for brand new money. You also have to make sure you understand that while you have in your budget, you can't pay yourself what you want yet, but you should have a financial plan. Okay, maybe I can't pay myself. I never forget I can pay myself $50. All right. Because most times we are investing so much into the business. But I remember the $50 turned into $500. And then the $500 turned to $5,000. I'm like, wow, I'm really doing this thing. So that's what you have to do, but you have to be smart about your financial plan. You have to be smart about your financial plan. Because if you don't be smart and a good steward with that, then guess what? If I wasn't a good steward with that, I cannot pay myself this $50,000. So when I pay myself $50,000, I'm like, bruh, you really doing the thing, CJ. And so now when it's time to pay myself $500,000, what do you think? I absolutely, you have to be, when I say crystal, it's almost like, put them frontlets on. Yeah, because the financial plan that you have, you want to make sure it makes sense. I'm going to always be the person to say, be very conservative, I'm not saying don't live. I'm not saying don't go out to eat. I'm not saying go not splurge. Do whatever you want to do with your money. It's your money. But what I am saying is make a conscious decision on every purchase. Make a conscious effort. I'm saying something as small as, and y'all know I get excited about this. So this, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm saying something as small as instead of going to the convenience store and buying a vitamin water, go to the grocery store and buy a case of vitamin water. Does that make sense? The case of vitamin water costs way cheaper than going to buy the 24 at the convenience store every day. So those are the small things. You can take something small like that and say, you know what? Let me see how much. Wow! At the end of the week, I've saved $10. At the end of the month, that's $40, right? $10 a week, $40. 10 times 4 is 40. Man, multiply that by 12 months. That's $480. If I save $480 on just buying vitamin waters and sticking them in my refrigerator instead of stopping at the convenience store, what more could I do with a larger dollar amount, a larger line item, clothes or shoes or, you know, jewelry or what have you? So those are the type of financial tips. That is a financial plan. That's a financial plan. When you in this entrepreneur thing, that's a financial plan. Because you can take that $480 that you saved and you'll be halfway done with your certification. Just like that. That's why I say I'm relentless about this thing, and I never take no for an answer when it comes down to money. There is money in the land. I can find money in it and everywhere. So I just gave you that small example about a vitamin water. So what more do you think I can do about any and everything else? So yes, you absolutely need a financial plan. Get yourself into this certification. Best thing ever. Best thing ever. I'm excited. Y'all excited?
Wow. Look, that's why she's my sister and my accountant. Listen, you guys, tonight has been so rich. I hope that you have gotten some great information. But most importantly, I want to see you I want to see your name on the list. Like, seriously, we're doing weekend interviews. If you have a specific circumstance where you cannot interview on the weekend, then we do have some special slots open and available. But listen, you only have till the 31st to sign up. So you better do it now. Go ahead, get it now. Get your time scheduled so you can have your interview. You're going to hurry up and get in this class. It started last week. In a few hours, we'll be in class again. And it's just a rich, rich opportunity. Listen, don't sweat the investment that you have to make into yourself because CJ's already told you can write it off. But not just that, the education that you're going to get is worth so much more. The aspect of community is going to be invaluable. It's so much bigger than $1,000. Believe me when I say. And nobody paid us to say this. This is what we know. This is what our lives look like every day. Having such a supportive community, able to have uh different kinds of conversations. I'm not into the non-reality TV. Even when before I got in the community, I wasn't a big TV person. I have my favorites and stuff. We can talk about Law and Order all day long. But when it comes to some of that other stuff, I don't keep up with that stuff. Because listen, the people on TV, they making money or should be or something like that, or they make you think they are. I'm trying to get my money. So, I want to be around people who are movers and shakers, people that are doing something different with their lives, people that, I'm a giver, so I like to be around people that are givers so that we can, work this thing together and, really, really make it happen. But I'm just such a fan of being an audience of one, in terms of you might not have that encouragement from your family, and it really is okay. It- I can talk about being married and not having success, not having support. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The support of a spouse. So you might not have that. But you got to know that this is something for you to do, and you just got to do it. You just have to do it for you. www.blackwomenequalpay.com, blackwomenequalpay.com, blackwomenequalpay.com. It's been a long day. Your girl is tired. I'm ready to shut it on down. What you got, Steph?
I'm ready to cow again. I'm waiting for the music. Let's do what it do.
Lord, don't cook cacao. Lord, I'm about to go into a train.
That
I'm
is
just
hilarious.
excited. Huh?
I said, see how much fun we have. Oh my God, I miss having fun with y'all face to face.
Hey, don't
We're
run.
kind of exotic tonight.
Oh, wait, let me don't rush. Let me put something over my cookie.
Oh my God.
Ooh, that's funny.
So
So
do I guess.
listen, y'all.
Give my money. Get some money. Get some bread.
Woo, that is too much. So listen, guys, join us again next week. We might even make a couple special appearances throughout this week because we really are trying to shut this certification class down. So go to www.blackwomenequalpay.com, share this broadcast, and even if you already share it again. You probably thought about somebody in the midst of the conversation that needs this information. Go ahead, share it again. We'll be back. Listen, join us in the morning for the BYOB morning show, and then again tomorrow night for After Dark. And with our coach, ain't no telling, might be somewhere in between. So make sure you're following us. Make sure you hit like and share. And most importantly, we look forward to seeing you soon. Stay safe, and we'll see you in class. Good night.